All right, everyone. So we are going to attempt to fix an EGR valve issue today on a 1995 F150. Hopefully we get her done before the rain comes down. We got some thunder going in the background. So what we've got here is a check engine light. The code off the reader says that it is an EGR, insufficient EGR flow. Now, the check engine light only comes on when the vehicle, copyright claim. Check engine light only comes on after the vehicle is running. Usually after we get it up in the second gear, the EGR light comes on. So I'm going to show you what we're going to do to fix that today, and we'll see how it goes. All right, so in the process of bringing the truck up here to the driveway to start working on it, we see that the check engine light came on, and again, that's that EGR valve insufficient flow code. So let's see what we can do about that. All right, so this old girl is a 1995 F150 with a 4.9 liter inline six, and we have that EGR code. So it means that the EGR valve is not operating properly. That could be the EGR valve itself, or it could be caused by a vacuum leak not letting the EGR valve open up completely. So what we need to do is we need to look at the vacuum lines to determine, we need to try and trace that root of the vacuum line. So we're gonna look for any broken lines or anything like that. Now, the problem on this one here, if you look over here, you'll see that this is your vacuum reservoir right here. It's actually just an old coffee can, and this is where your vacuum is built up. Now, on these older trucks, especially if you live in a northern climate, everything up here gets really rusty really fast and really bad. So you look at it here, you don't see any obvious, like there's a little bit of rust here, but there's no obvious holes in it, right? Until, if you can see right there, you look underneath it and you see that gigantic hole right there. So that's the cause of our vacuum leak. So what we're going to do is we have a new one of these. I'm going to show you how to put it in and hopefully solve this issue with the EGR. All right, so on this 1995 F-150, the vacuum reservoir is attached to the wheel well liner right here, this plastic inner fender. So what you're going to do is you're going to want to come underneath the passenger side wheel well, and you will see up in here, if I can get it right, yeah, perfect. So there's going to be two 11-meter nuts that are bolted that help bolt down that vacuum reservoir. So what happened here is there's supposed to be two. I had just taken the 11 millimeter socket and went to take this off and stripped it clean off, broke the bolt. Don't know why exactly they decided to put these inside the wheel well where they're obviously going to rust. But chances are you're probably going to break it off. And the new vacuum reservoir I purchased from Ford does not come with these nuts. So you're probably going to have to run to the hardware store and pick up a couple of these nuts to replace and hold in your new vacuum reservoir. All right, and we're 2 for 2. Stripped off both those nuts, so that'll make getting that can out of there real easy for sure. Helpful tip also to anyone who ever gets one of these bolts like broken off in your ratchet set. What you can do is you can take a screwdriver, preferably a cheap one that you don't care about like this Craftsman, and just set it inside the socket. You just got to get that hole big enough that it goes through. And this one might be a little bit too big. So grab a smaller one. Stick her in that hole down there. And then grab your ratchet. Give it a good couple taps. A little tap. And that sucker will come flying right out of there. All right, now that both those nuts are removed, what you want to do is you want to grab this here, and it's connects to this can right here. There's two connections right here, so what you're going to want to do is just grab that. It's going to be kind of friction fit on there. Pop it off, and your whole can should come right out. And you can see here, that's a pretty big hole in that can there. You wouldn't necessarily see from the top, right? But because it lays like this in here, you wouldn't necessarily notice that vacuum leak. Now, they do sell plastic aftermarket pumps, vacuum reservoirs, I'm sorry, that you can put in here. I don't know what the hell that is. I don't particularly feel like dealing with an aftermarket one, trying to hook that up. So we're just going to put the OEM Ford one in here and then hook it back up, and we should be good to go. So what I have right here, I have a Ford, a genuine Ford one right here. Same construction. It'll probably rust out, but hopefully we do all right here for a couple years. I don't have any nuts, so I'll have to run to the hardware store and grab those. But I figure if you've gotten this far, you probably know how to put nuts on this. So just go ahead and set it in these 2 holes here. And it'll sit in there, and then connect your hose right here. You see you got 2 holes here. You're gonna connect these 2 holes right here. It doesn't fit like this. This is a dud. On the bottom here, you see there's no hole in that, so it's a dud, and it won't necessarily fit in this. So it only really goes on one way. So just line it up and plug her in. Oh, sorry. All right, and that is ideally all there is to it. I'm still gonna see if I can get some nuts or something for that, but that's pretty much it. We'll take it for a run and see if we fix the problem. So I was able to find some nuts that fit this in a spare junk drawer. They were 1 quarter inch by 20 thread. So for anyone who needs nuts after when you're working on this, that's what they are. Just tighten these up and we'll give her a test drive. All right, everyone, so we just took her for a test drive, got her up to 60 miles an hour, and as you can see here, we got no check engine light. So that was our leak. That was causing the EGR valve to not open up. So that just goes to show you, before you go replacing an entire EGR valve, make sure you check the easy stuff, check the simple stuff. You know, something as simple as a vacuum leak can cause that check engine light to come on. You'll experience things like poor acceleration under load, poor gas mileage, things like that. So I hope that helped you out, and we'll see what we get into next time. All right, guys.